Welcome to Around the Track, the most exciting 15 minutes in wealth management by Dynasty Financial Partners and hosted by CEO Shirl Penney.
And welcome to another edition of Around the Track, the most exciting 15 minutes in wealth management. I'm really excited about this episode because I'm joined by a longtime personal friend and business partner, Eddie Brown. Eddie is the National Managing Director and head of Schwab Advisor Family Office. Eddie, thanks so much for joining me on this episode.
No, thank you, Shirl. Looking forward to this series.
All right, Eddie, before we jump in, I just want to briefly say thank you, not only to you, but all of your colleagues and partners at Schwab. You've been an amazing advocate and partner to us at Dynasty and to the whole network, not only sponsoring Around the Track, but our annual events like the summit. You guys are amazing partners to us, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
Thank you, Shirl. And on behalf of Schwab Advisor Family Office and just the Schwab Advisor Service as a whole, we greatly appreciate and value our partnership and working with you and your team.
All right, great. So with that, let's jump in. You know the one rule we have, which is we're going to make our way around this virtual track together in less than 15 minutes, right? So we have 8 questions. Each of those questions represent one of the 8 furlongs that make up a mile around the track together. So with that, let's jump right in.
And they're off.
The first question, we're going to help you break out of the gate here quick. You and I have known each other a very long time, but maybe for others that are listening that don't know you as well, tell us a little bit about Eddie Brown, both personally and professionally.
Yeah, sure. I was trying to do the math before we got started. It's been more than 15 years. So we've had such a great friendship and endless fun stories, and only some that can be shared, of course, but some good business success along the way. But on a personal front, I'm lucky to have an amazing wife, Wendy. Been married to her more than 20 years. She's been incredibly supportive of my career journey across the country, and 2 awesome kids. My daughter Haley's graduating with a degree in criminal justice at U of A here in Tucson, and Nick is a rising senior at high school and aspiring entrepreneur, and my fingers are crossed, Shirl, that he may be a future Schwab family office client. But we've all loved living here in Scottsdale, Arizona. From a professional standpoint, I'm fortunate to spend more than 25 years in financial services. I stopped counting at year 25, but it is more than that, and been able to work with some great companies along the way, and business development roles, leadership roles, started in private banking in the Carolinas, regional role at Citigroup in the trust business, and then actually recruited by you, Shirl, at Private Wealth Management, where I learned a lot and worked hard to really cover the whole spectrum of private wealth. And then after leaving Citi and joining Fidelity Family Office Services, that took me out to the West Coast to build a business on the West Coast for a number of years for Fidelity Family Office Services. But what it meant to me was landing in San Francisco, where ultimately I got to know Schwab Advisors Services and what it meant and what the vision was for the family office business. And it turned out to be a great opportunity, career opportunity, personally and professionally. And now looking back 3 years, it's been an amazing 3 years.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And that was kind of a quick walk down memory lane for me there too, Eddie. And thinking about the track that's behind me, I don't know quite how long ago it was, probably 13, 14 years ago, we had an offsite and we had an opportunity to spend some time together at that track and have very fond memories of that trip. So maybe just ask you a little bit, deeper in terms of some of the work that you're doing at Schwab. What are some of the things that you and your colleagues are working on right now, whether it's in the family office arena or more broadly, that has you just super excited to run into work every day?
Yeah. Well, sure. I wake up every morning pretty fired up and start my day with a workout, and definitely are getting the return on my investment from my Peloton. But that's where the juices flow, and I start getting some strategic thinking going about tackling the day. And my team is forewarned that that's when the avalanche of emails and messages come through after that workout. But 3 years ago, Shirl, we developed a vision and a clear and defined strategy, and have just been executing relentlessly on that strategy. It's an incredible responsibility for us, representing a brand like Schwab and working with the top advisors, family office professionals, and some of the most successful families in the country. So we continue to push on ourselves to really challenge the status quo of what's happening in the family office community, help lead through our unique insight that we gain, and then bring that expertise together to support our advisors and family office professionals. But really the key is empowering our people to be successful and serving the day-to-day needs of the advisors, but ultimately helping to elevate them and help our advisors grow successfully.
I appreciate that. So look, you mentioned earlier the 25 plus year career. I know that you're very much someone who prides himself at being a student of the industry. I know you're incredibly proud to work in this industry. So if you look out, let's say the next 5 years, what has you most excited about what you're seeing going on within wealth management or finance more broadly?
Yeah, I thought I had, growing up in the private banking world and working for some of the largest private banks, it was really exciting to see the level of success that they were having. But what really fires me up in learning more about the RIA community and the independent RIA model is it is the preferred way to serve ultra wealthy families. And we're continuing to see these trends, Shirl, across the board, where wirehouses and private banks still have a dominant market share, but truly the independent advisor is winning more and more of this business. And it's really invigorating to be part of an industry that's so fast growing, and then being able to make a meaningful impact on it from the collective learnings of a broad career that I've had. So you see each year the industry is being fueled by this entrepreneurial spirit of just great financial advisors that are turning into CEOs and establishing these great businesses. And the industry is becoming more and more attractive to drawing in more and more top diverse talent. And you combine that talent with great technology and firms like yours, Shirl Dynasty, and the platform that you could provide these firms with the expertise, be able to deliver more scale and become more efficient. It's an exciting place to be, but I think that we're still just getting started on the success that we'll see and what we'll see from some of these best managed firms and what they can deliver in the next 5 years.
Yeah, it's interesting too, if you look at, the family office arena over the last 100 years, you could pretty easily, I think, bridge a conversation to say that a lot of the innovation within the family office arena, and the way I think about it is kind of that triangulation of advice separate from safe custody, separate from where the products are manufactured and offered, with technology to tie it together. The RIA movement over the last 20 years, which Schwab has been, just an incredible advocate of driving forward, has really been in large part about the democratization of that family office triangulation of advice model, right? So I'm sure that perspective and experience you have in the family office arena really helps serve you well as you start to provide services to more of the higher end RIAs that have a higher end client that can leverage a lot of the capabilities in your family office group. So that's great. Eddie, let me reverse the question though. So you talked about some of the things that you're really excited about. Maybe look out over the next 5 years. What are some things that maybe you're a little more concerned about?
Yeah, sure. I'm a optimist, and I think that there's always opportunity even in the toughest times, and we've experienced that recently. But putting my risk hat and is just protecting our clients. I'm super concerned and about the cyber threats and things that are just happening from a technology perspective, and clients being victimized by fraud. There's just so much information out there, and the fraudsters keep getting smarter and smarter. So it's a real concern. We've found many of the clients that we serve are high profile from a perspective and become targets for these criminals, and it's a scary thing. And for advisors that serve them and for the end families, a big loss, no matter how much money the family may have, could be devastating to the RA business, and obviously to the family that are threatened through it. So, I think that we've got to continue to educate our advisors and investors on how to protect themselves through things like Schwab's Cyber Resource Center, and safety and security of assets will always be in the forefront. So that's one on the risk side of things. But I do think that there's another side to this growth. that how much of this growth is possible to continue to be sustainable, and who will be the players to help accelerate that growth and create long-standing business models that have the right talent in place and talent succession in place, and the right business and operational controls to be able to scale more broadly as national firms. So there's a lot happening in the industry, but those are just 2 points that come to mind that don't necessarily keep me up, but things that I worry about when I wake up.
That last point is a great segue to my next question, because you're, I think, in a very unique role at Schwab, where you get to interact with and partner with some of the best RIAs, some of the best family offices, multifamily offices. So let me ask the question, in your mind, given everything that you now have observed, what are some of the characteristics that you might say would separate a really good firm from a really great firm?
Yeah, some of it's getting back to the fundamentals. I believe it starts with an inspiring leadership team that has that vision, and can articulate that clear mission, values, and to the team to be able to attract that talent. There has to be a defined strategic plan and growth plan, where everything is accounted for, including what is the ideal client persona, and who are they going to best serve going forward, which brings you to having that focus on the total client experience. But I also think that there's clearly a talent war in our industry, and a lot of the great talent is coming from some of the major national firms, the private banks, the wirehouses. But there's a talent war between RIAs, so that having a commitment to attracting and retaining that top talent is going to continue to be a key. And then what really binds it all together is just having that strong and unifying culture, and that really defines the brand and the trust that's built in the community. So those things are all fundamental pieces of it. But when you look at those that are most successful in leading the pack, is that they're expanding their geographic footprint. They're thinking differently about the types of clients that they can serve, and different ways to specialize how they serve those clients, whether it's an ultra high net worth client or whether it's $1 million to $10 million client. How they can offer more services, either in-house or outsourced to specialty providers, is another key element of this. But those firms that are able to, and obviously all of the activity on the M&A side, when there's synergy built between the teams, the people, and the products and services that they can deliver through acquisitions, those firms are continuing to lead the way. But I go back to my original point there. It's how fast do you grow? Growth is only good if you have the technology and scale and resources to be able to support it. And those that have that perfect formula of some of the things that I mentioned are the ones that we have seen have been most successful, and ones we're looking to partner with, because they're going to be the winners long term.
So let me turn that scale question and that point that you just made a little bit back now to you and your partners at Schwab. Obviously, so much of the industry media has been talking, the last year plus about the acquisition of TD, the ultimate integration of that business into Schwab, which was already the largest custody player for RIAs, and had a great family office and multifamily office business that was underway. So as you think about taking that additional scale and capabilities, people, resources, and putting it alongside of Schwab, what are some benefits that you see ultimately for clients there? And then as a quick add-on, is there a capability that most people maybe are not thinking about right now when they think about Schwab that you think is going to be a real differentiator for your business going forward?
Yeah, the merger with TD is exciting to both firms, and continues to be a strategic and thoughtful integration. Size, scale, and clear focus on the RIA market matters today more than ever, to be able to keep up with the growth and success of the industry as a whole. So I think that this just, this clearly further extends our leadership and market positioning, Shirl. TD, and I've really enjoyed getting to know a lot of the leaders at TD. It's there's alignment in some of the culture of the two firms. There's great talent at the firm, And also, from a resource and technology capabilities, they bring some unique technology innovations that we're looking forward to delivering to all advisors. Whenever you're growing to the size and scale of a Schwab, there has to be a roadmap to be able to specialize to serve peer size advisors across the spectrum. And we continue to be the champion for all advisors, helping them grow, compete, and succeed. And I think that this is only going to allow us to elevate what we do in all those respects. But what most people don't realize about Schwab is the families of significant wealth that we've been serving for decades. Family office, we talk about 3-4 years. That's really the specialization and the packaging of all those things together. But we're entrusted with so many families that have $20 million or more and trust the brand. And this was the driver for the family office business that we've created. So delivering things like family office to advisors that worked with TD. We have some specific examples where we've been able to support them win business that they may not have been able to win without bringing in the experts that we have brought together within Schwab Family Office. So I think that there's going to be a combination of the best people, certainly bringing in the different technology innovations. These are never easy, so it's going to take a lot more time and be thoughtful for it. But I think in the end, the advisors that we work with collectively across the organizations will end up in a better place as we continue to innovate side by side with them.
So Eddie, as we're turning for home here, with just two quick questions left. One of the topics that our listeners and followers have told us that they really have enjoyed us addressing on the show around the track is around topic of leadership. So as we head towards the finish line here together, let me ask you, what's your leadership style, your philosophy, and maybe there's one piece of advice from a mentor or someone that you've worked with over the years that really stands out to you. Can you share a little bit around leadership?
Yeah, happy to. I definitely have a natural preference to servant leadership and servant leadership mentality. And when you can combine that with just an entrepreneurial spirit and, creating businesses within businesses, it doesn't mean that you have to be a small business owner to have an entrepreneurial mindset. I think that you can bring together great people and I really enjoy just galvanizing a great team around a clear vision and inspiring them. And success is not individual success. Individual success, and when you're a leader, it's about inspiring people to do just amazing results together and helping to achieve things that they couldn't achieve before. So my personal satisfaction as a leader is to step out of the way, help elevate other great leaders to do amazing things that they may not think that they're comfortable in doing, but just create that runway for success and growth for them. So that's just who I am as an individual, and is natural within the DNA of Schwab and how all the executive leaders and other leaders throughout the organization operate. So it's been a great fit. But I guess one piece of advice I received was your personal brand matters, and as you go through different phases of your career and you take on more responsibility, there's more eyes and ears to your actions and what you say. So just be authentic to yourself. Keep learning. I love to learn as much as I can, and I do take great pride, and I appreciate feedback and coaching along the way, because you have to take that coaching and feedback and only can get better from that. And I guess the last thing I'll mention, Cheryl, is just with you, I think that something I learned from you personally, Cheryl, was just the incredible, unparalleled work ethic, the determination and focus to make a difference. I remember when we worked together, you called me at 6:30 a.m. and asked me if I was in the office, and I said yes. And then a horn blew in the parking lot, and he said, "Well, you're not in the office yet. You're still in the parking garage. Get to work." So there's no one that can outwork you, Cheryl, but and that's why you have the great success and results that you have.
I appreciate that. No sacrifice for hard work. So here's the last question I like to ask all the guests here. Look, and we're taping this in the middle of the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
And the oldest sporting venue in America is pictured there behind me, the track in Saratoga. For 150 years plus, the owners, the jockeys, the trainers, and the great athletes, the horses themselves, have been gearing up for campaigns to win, big prizes, big goals around Triple Crown races and some other huge races in the sport. So as we close out, let me ask you, what is your Triple Crown? And it doesn't have to be over the next year, but over the next couple of years. What is that big goal that's out there that Eddie Brown is running really hard towards?
Yeah, I guess my Triple Crown, I would talk, number one is my family. My family means everything, and the happy and success of my family members and just good health is my Triple Crown, and that's an evergreen and will be forever for us. But number two, and this is a little more personal. This is on the personal side. I'll be hitting a big number on my next birthday. I won't let you guess what it is, but just having a new level of personal fitness. Your health is all that you have. You can't get it back when you lose it. So I've been really focused on my personal health for my next birthday and to kind of continue on. And then third would be just with business. It's in my veins to be successful in business and to have and achieve great business results, employee engagement results that are peaking and happy clients at Schwab Advisor Services doing record numbers, and the impact that I can have individually as well as the teams that I lead within Premier Wealth Services and Family Office. That's what gets me fired up. So that would be my Triple Crown. It would be around family, personal, and the business results, and just enjoying the time and celebrating all that together.
Well, thank you, Eddie. I've really enjoyed this. Please send our best to Wendy and your family. Thank you to you and all your colleagues at Schwab for all the great support. And thank you to all of you for tuning in again for another episode of Around the Track.